Good Monday evening, Pipers. Gilligan's Island's coming on. Just got through watching Andy Griffith, my daily dose of that. If I'm home and can't watch it, so I'm going to flip it back over to Big Band Swing, channel 801 on direct. And I can't even tell who's playing, but this is the deal that Guy Witherspoon turned me on to. Thank you again, Guy. I've been exposed to this genre some throughout my life, but I'm going to tell y'all, paired up with a pipe, your favorite chair, or a good cigar, good book with it, nothing. It is wonderful. I love, it's one of my most favorite things to do is click on that Big Band channel and Swing channel and just fire up a bowl of some great tobacco. So. But I got a package in from Chris, Pipe Papi, and we done a little tobacco trade. He had he's been wanting to try the Peterson Sunset Breeze, and it was one of those blends for him. Like I've got several, and the one he sent me was exactly one of those that you call a back burner blend. You've been wanting to try it, but by the time when you make your order, by the time you replace your favorites and some that you really want to try, there's always one that keeps getting put on the back burner. And the one I sent him was that away for him, and this one was one for me. When I told him I was in a position to send him a tin of it, he said, well, here, he gave me a list of 4 or 5 that he had in his cellar, and lo and behold, this one was one that I had been on my back burner list, and it's Stanwell Melange. First Stanwell I've ever smoked, and because of the fails, I've already opened it. I've got a bowl of it, just fired it up. It's good. The tin note on this is, when I first opened it, cracked open the tin, it was like, of a 1 to 5, it's a solid 5. Beautiful, beautiful tobacco, and it is chock full of Burleys, Virginias, Cavendishes, and Oriental. And I've been fortunate enough here lately to love it, to have been able to try some aromatics that have this is a school calling. Hold on. Hello? Recording that they have to, all these raffle tickets have to be turned in by Wednesday. They're constantly selling something. So, and I knew it was going to be a recording. That's why I didn't cut the video off. I've had so many fails today with these videos. I said, so y'all, thank y'all for bearing with me on this thing. Like I say, the Orientals are a good complement to a blend, and I did not realize that. I've been fortunate to try some aromatics lately that's got a little of it in. It's a great complement to any blend. And on my first impression of this, it sort of kind of reminds me of that 1883 blend. I think that Dean Wild Inside sent me. The 1883 is a little stronger, but this is, and they're both good. Love them both. It's real vanilla-y. I like it so far. You know, first impressions, I'll smoke 2 or 3 bowls before I really, take a stance on it, but I really believe that this is going to be a keeper from first impression. But just sitting here doing some paperwork, we're closed on Mondays, and at least for right now, and don't know how much we may very well. That's one of the changes we're making. Probably going to go to opening on Mondays. But just doing some paperwork. I'm forced to have to adjust my pricing on some of the foods. I mean, for an example, well, dealing with food, when you're dealing with meats and produce, it's an up and down market. It changes daily, weekly, most of the time very minor. And you have your 4th of July comes up, pork's going up. Ribs are going up. Around Christmas and Easter, hams and turkeys and Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff goes up. You'll have a little early frost on peaches, and sometimes, your peaches go up, and, you roll with those. And most of the time, the little increases, temporary increases, don't justify running out and going up on your menu prices. Just in the same token as these little temporary price reductions doesn't justify going and changing your going down on your menu prices. It's not like gasoline. I spent 20 years in the gasoline business, and 20 plus years, and it fluctuates daily. Now it's wildly 10, 12, 15 cents in a day. Back in the day when we were all around $1.15 a gallon, in the 90-cent range, 2 or 3 cents either direction was pretty massive. Most of the time, cent and a half total play. Now it's wild. They say, I've got friends still in, and they said, man, yesterday we had a 15-cent sway in it. But now with gasoline, you're dealing with a tighter margin of profit. So a nickel overall increase sometimes would force you to go up or down on your price. But with the increases that we've had in the last 30 days, these ain't going away anytime soon. They're here to stay for months if they ever go back down. Pork prices are out of sight. Beef, and y'all know it, you buy them you look at, everybody knows what ground beef has done. And these are just prices that you can't absorb. I mean, our average rib price on a rack used to run, and it's all done by weight, but you can just about count on averaging around $6 a slab. It's over $9 now, and it's been that way, and it's doing that. Matter of fact, we just got notified it's going up 32 cents more per pound. So I don't have any other choice but to move. Everything is up, even the condiments that you use, the salt, the flour, the pepper, the shortening, the butter, everything you use that goes in some of these recipes is up too. And it's just, there's no end in sight. I know that the beef went up because of, they say there's always a reason behind it. And the pork, I don't know why it's moving, just greed maybe. But, I know last year there was a ton of cattle sent to slaughter because of the shortage in hay and the drought, and I know hay went out of sight, and a lot of cattle ranchers decided to go ahead and send their cattle on into market to the butcher to, because he couldn't feed them. Well, there was a big glut in beef on the market, but price didn't go down like a glut usually does it. It stayed fairly stable, maybe even went up some. Well, now it's got to be a shortage because of so many that were slaughtered last year. It's got to be. Now, there again, we are selling a lot of our stuff on the open market. There's other countries that are now in the marketplace buying this stuff, willing to pay more for it. So when these farmers, when these exporters can sell it and get more money from China or whoever, we're suffering the cost of it. And I don't know how, it's getting tough to feed a family anymore. But now there seems to be a true shortage of it because of it. There's a lot of young cattle out there. I hope it corrects itself as this cattle ages. Who knows? But right now it's terrible. Terrible. Chicken is up. Beef is. So I've got to go back and tweak these menu prices, and I hate to do it. I hate to go up. I hate it. But you cannot absorb but just so much of it, and if you want to keep the doors open. And I know money has gotten tighter over the last couple of months. And you look around, a friend of mine is our sales rep, and the ticket I just got in for today's order was $2,600 and some few dollars. He said, I've still got the old pricing in here. He said, let me run a fictitious invoice on this one, on prices from 3 months ago. And I'll tell you the difference. Exact same invoices. This one was up $291 over what it was 2.5 months ago, and we've had no increases. So that means you take that order and another $1,500 to $1,600 order fill in, and you're at nearly $400 a week in food increases that's coming out of your pocket. It's tough to absorb that. You cannot. We're a small operation, and it's just. Friends, I don't know where we're going to wind up on this thing. That's just, we're on uncharted waters. I've never seen nothing like this. Just keep the faith, y'all. Do the best you can do, and let's keep this thing. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. We've got to address this. We need some new leadership from all parties, from both sides of the aisle. We need some people that for once are going to look out for our best interest. But I'm not going to turn this into a political rant. Y'all all know. Let's shake them up this year in election time. Let's shake them up again in 2016 and get rid of these clowns that are career politicians that line their own pockets. Please, let's do it. Let's shake them up. And we can still do it. Right now we can do it. Who knows what they're going to do to us with new laws and stuff, But really, I was able last night and today to get caught up on some videos. Enjoying them. As soon as they get in, we're going to go to a little place around here, a little town kind of through the woods. It's a little interstate town, a community more than anything, called Calhoun, Louisiana. Got 2 or 3 truck stops right there on the interstate and a motel and some old businesses that's been there. It's just a little small community. They got a school there. I went to high school there because we lived in that district. Part of the time I went to high school there, and I started out at a private school in what's called Christian school. And most of my friends, when we got out of elementary school, either went to West Monroe High or to Calhoun High. And after a couple of years, I wanted to get back with some of them. And my parents allowed, and it saved them some money too. I know it did. So I went back to Calhoun. Like I say, there's a school there, and but my parents lived in a Calhoun mailing address. Their mailing address says Calhoun. They're 2.5 miles up the road from me, but from there, and they live 6-7 miles from Calhoun, but they got that mailing address. But there is some businesses been there, and one of them is a couple of years old. There's a place called Iron Cactus. Great little Mexican place, and it's Tex-Mex. I prefer the Tex-Mex. Man, my wife kind of likes the authentic Mexican restaurants, and my son does too. Now, Emily's like me. She likes the Tex-Mex. And, of course, when my wife and I were dating, Tex-Mex was all the rage around here. About the only one we got left in the Monroe area is El Chico's. And they're as you know, a chain, and they're very hit and miss. If you catch them when they're on top of their game, still a good place. If they're not having a good day, who knows? But I like to go there occasionally. But Iron Cactus is similar. It's what I grew up on is Tex-Mex in this part of the country. I love the cheese and onion enchilada. Oh, and probably what I'll have is the cheese and onion enchiladas taco combination with some tamales. The tamales I know are good quality. We were getting them from this gentleman. Guy, and being politically correct, I don't know if you would call him a Mexican. I don't mean anything by it, but he was a Mexican fellow that made these things through his house. He had a place out built beside his house. He got a machine that wraps the corn shucks and all that in it, and he made a killer one. Well, he sells to several restaurants in town. Very clean place. Health department comes in, they inspect it. He's got a little building next to his house, but the cost on them is such that a diner type restaurant like me can't get what a more of a sit down higher end restaurant can get. And this little Iron Cactus, you can go and get a plate for 10, 11 bucks, 12. But I couldn't charge the per dozen price. I mean, you're looking at $14, $15 a dozen then. But he would put them in these big stainless steel pots. I had to have 2 pots. One that he had, one that he was putting stuff in, that I'd trade out with the one I took back with them in it, and they would be spiraled in it. Great tamales. I mean, great tamales. I may look back at doing it, but I don't know if my market will justify it or not, but that's one of the things I'm going to have tonight. Boy, these tamales are good. But Miss Emily's been wanting to go, and I love Tex-Mex. Going to give that a whirl. I may come back with a little bit, with another video tonight. I may come back, smoke a stick with y'all. I did want to ask y'all. No, I tell you what, I'm going to wait and I think I probably will do a cigar video later tonight, a little short one, and I'll ask this question then. So, but just to get off here, get this thing downloaded. I thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your friendship, your subs. We'll catch up with y'all on the next one later tonight. Y'all have a good one, and God bless you.